All right, this court is going to call cause number 230351-D. This is in the 260th District Court of Orange County, Texas, and it's in the interest of Delilah Dana. Miss Heaven Shouse, please raise your right hand and tell me that your hand is in the air.
It's in the air.
Miss Shouse, do you solemnly swear the testimony that you're about to give is the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth, so help you God?
I swear.
Thank you, ma'am. You put your hand down. Mr. Dana, please raise your right hand. Tyler Dana, do you solemnly swear the testimony you're about to give is the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth, so help you God?
Yes, sir.
Thank you, sir. You can put your hand down. Ms. Penister, are you handling this case for state?
I am, Your Honor.
Do you have any other witnesses besides the parties?
I do not.
All right. Call your first witness.
I'll call Mr. Dana. Mr. Dana, your daughter Delilah, is it, lives with you now?
Yes, ma'am.
How long has she been in your possession?
Uh, Close to 4 years now, I'd say.
Um, and how did she come to live with you?
Um, there was some things that went on in her mom when she was in her mom's custody that led to me getting pretty much full custody of her.
Okay. How often has Miss Shouse visited with Delilah since you had her?
One time.
Okay. Do you have concerns about her being alone with the child?
Yes.
And what's the nature of those concerns?
Uh, Mainly just like I don't know who she would be around with because of the last incident.
Okay. And basically, Miss Shouse has another child, and there was some abuse or some harm to that child, and your daughter Delilah was present at the time as well.
Yes, I believe so.
Um, do you have concerns for Delilah's safety, sir?
Yeah.
Do you have any personal knowledge of whether or not Miss Shouse has physically harmed the child?
Not any personal knowledge of her harming the child, just people she is around.
Okay, what can you tell the court what happened or what you know to have happened?
Not unless he has personal knowledge of it, he can't.
Do you know what happened or your own personal
Yeah.
knowledge, sir, of why the child was placed with you?
So a few years ago, apparently Heaven met this guy, and I believe it was
What,
a couple months into her knowing him or meeting him or something. Uh, I was told she moved into an apartment
Mr.
with
well,
Dana,
him.
Mr.
And
Dana, oh, I got it, Ms. Penister. Mr. Dana, how do you know this information? Where did you learn it from?
The CPS workers.
Did she tell you this information?
Yes.
Yeah, that's hearsay. Go ahead, Ms.
yeah,
Penister. Mr.
okay,
Dana, you're not allowed to give me information that somebody else told you, okay? Because that doesn't give
Okay.
Ms. Schaus the right to cross-examine it. All right,
Okay. Uh,
there's rules in the court, in my court about evidence and civil procedure. You just can't come in and tell me what somebody else told you because I don't have any way to verify whether or not that information is true.
I mean, if I look in my documents and stuff, I can find the paperwork that says what the actual reason was.
Okay, so you have documentation then from Child Protective Services about allegations of abuse.
Yes.
What is the allegation of abuse?
The guy, Tristan Turk, I believe his name was, burnt and put Delilah and Liberty in in hot water in the
Okay.
bathtub.
And did Child Protective Services investigate this allegation?
Yes.
And did they make a final finding as far as what they found?
Yes.
And what was the finding?
That he was guilty to doing it,
Okay.
and
And
they tested his water.
did they press criminal charges against this man for doing that?
Uh,
I mean, that's clearly
not
abuse.
I'm not 100% sure how far they went into it. they just told me that stuff and said that they were seeing what they could do all about it, and
Yeah, well,
then
Mr.
told me
Dana,
I needed to get
Mr.
my
Dana,
daughter.
Mr. Dana, I didn't ask you what they told you, okay? I asked you what your the official findings were from Child Protective Services. Do you,
I'd have
if you don't,
I'd, I'd
if you
have to
don't know
look because
whether or
it's
not
been
they filed
years.
criminal charges against him, then that's fine too. If you don't know, you don't know, okay?
Yeah, I don't know. I'd have to look because it's been years since it's happened.
All right. And then Child Protective Services asked Ms. Schaus to place Delilah with you.
Yes, I
And
believe
did
so.
Ms. Schaus agree to place Delilah with you?
I believe so. Yes.
Okay. Did they create something called the safety plan for you and Ms. Schaus to sign?
Not 100% sure.
Did Child Protective Services actually file a lawsuit and remove Delilah from Ms. Schaus legally in court?
Like we didn't. I don't believe we went to court over it. No.
Okay. So Child Protective Services took no legal action in regards to this case, as far as you know.
I think. I really can't remember. I can't remember.
Okay, well, for the record, Mr. Dana, for Child Protective Services to actually do something like that, they would have to file a lawsuit. And then the police would come to Ms. Schaus's house and physically remove Delilah from Ms. Schaus and put the child in foster care. And then Child Protective Services would reach out to you, Mr. Dana.
I'm gonna bring that up too.
Hold on, Ms. Schaus.
I'm sorry.
Yeah, don't interrupt me, please.
Yes, sir.
This is the problem when Child Protective Services gets in the middle of cases involving children. They have a rule, and the rule is, we just want the children to be safe. And once the child is safe, then Child Protective Services gets out of the case. But they don't give the parents any further direction on what they're supposed to do. So I'm assuming that Child Protective Services has never filed a lawsuit. Ms. Pinister, did Child Protective Services file a removal of this child from Ms. Schaus?
From my understanding, no, Your Honor.
Okay, so no legal action has ever been taken in regards to this Child Protective Services case, as far as you know, Ms. Pinister.
That's correct, Your Honor. None was taken.
This is very important to me, Mr. Dana, because it makes a big difference on how I can rule on the case, all right?
Yes, sir.
All right. So go ahead, Ms. Pinister. I think I've got to the bottom of that part of the case. Thank you.
And Mr. Dana, so you're asking for the court to appoint you sole managing conservator and to order supervised visitations for Ms. Schaus
Yes.
based on your concerns. Does Ms. Schaus know where you and the child reside?
Yes.
Okay. Do you have any concerns with her coming to pick up the child from your home?
Yes.
And what are those concerns, sir?
Well, from last experience that happened, didn't get to see my daughter or hear from my daughter, get pictures from my daughter or anything. Last time when we first split up, she just took off and moved out of town 7 hours away. Wouldn't tell me where she was, who she was around, or anything. And I don't
Well,
want that to happen again.
okay. Has there been any threats of harm or threats that she would take the child and not return her as agree? Well, when she saw the child a year or so ago, did she take the child from your home?
I let her go to her mother. Yes.
And this is the maternal grandmother. When you say her mother, the maternal grandmother?
Yes, ma'am. Heaven Charles.
Um,
And yes, she has threatened me with seeing Delilah several times.
okay. Has
But
there been any?
this was before, all this happened, and I ended up getting full custody, or like Delilah coming to live with me.
Well, I'm only talking from the time that she came to live with you.
Yeah.
Has there been any threats or physical harm to yourself or the child?
No.
Do you have medical or dental coverage for the child currently, sir?
No.
And the prior order would also modify an obligation of yours. You were ordered in the prior order from 2017 to pay cash medical of $115 a month. You would want the court to give you some possession credit because the child has been with you. Is that correct?
Yes, that'd be nice.
You do understand that there is an amount of money that we'd ask the court to grant a judgment for of $613.66.
Yes.
Okay. Pass the witness, Your Honor.
Okay, you can call your next witness.
I'll call Miss Schaus. You're on mute, Miss Schaus. Um, to your knowledge, when did can you hear me, Miss Schaus?
Yes, ma'am. Can you hear me?
Yes, yes. When did, to your recollection, did Miss or Delilah go to live with Mr. Dana?
So I'm sorry to backtrack a little bit. Before the CPS thing happened, she was already down there visiting him.
So she was there at the time.
Yes, visiting him. And then like it was the day after that she had left that the accident had happened.
Okay. And you acknowledge there was an incident bathing a child that's not before the court.
Yes, ma'am.
And is that child live with you now, Miss Schaus?
No, ma'am.
Were your rights terminated to that child?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay. Are you employed, ma'am?
Yes, ma'am.
Where do you currently work?
I work at Walmart.
And how much do you make an hour?
1711.
You working full time, 40 hours a week?
Yes, ma'am.
Do you have health insurance through your employer?
On myself, no.
Okay. Will you be able to add this child to your health insurance?
Yes,
Or
ma'am. I will.
to a health insurance plan provided by your employer?
Yes, ma'am.
Do you know the cost of it?
68
Okay.
every 2 weeks.
$68 every 2 weeks.
Yes, ma'am.
And what about dental coverage? Is that available?
Yes. And that's about $6 every 2 weeks as well.
$6 every 2 weeks for the dental. Do you, and when's the last time you saw Delilah?
It was probably when was it? About a year ago.
And you want to have a relationship with your daughter, Miss Schaus?
Yes, I do.
Prior to her being with Mr. Dana, were you the primary caretaker?
Yes, I was.
Do you have you tried to attend any school activities or find out about medical appointments and things like that? Do you communicate with Mr. Dana about those issues?
No, ma'am. With the school stuff, I live quite a bit of ways away. I had actually planned on moving down there once I had gotten like a vehicle and everything. That way I could be closer to her.
But you would want the court to order you guys joint managing conservators and that you have a standard possession order.
Anything as long as I can see my kid.
Okay. Pass the witness, Your Honor.
You call your next witness.
State has no others, Your Honor.
Did you calculate child support based on the income, Ms. Penister? Because I can't in Orange County. I don't have the bandwidth to do it.
I did, Your Honor, but it was some different numbers. I'll go back through it. I did at $66 and $5. The testimony was 68 and 6. So I'll go back.
I do. The medical should be 125 because that's every 2 weeks. And then the dental should be 15 because that's also every 2 weeks. And I think Ms. Shao said that she makes $17 and some change an hour.
He's adjusting it for me because
That's $29.65 gross monthly. And came up with 477, Your Honor.
Oh.
Or 478, 477.
Thank you. And lastly, Ms. Pinister, I was confused about the judgment. So according to the prior court order, the only support that Mr. Dana was ordered to pay was medical support.
Yes, Your Honor. There was no child support ordered in that order.
And you're asking me to grant a judgment for how much and as of what dates?
$613.67 as of April 16th.
Give me the figures one more time.
Yes, sir. $613.67 as of April 16th.
Okay. Thank you, Ms. Pinister.
Yes.
Ms. Schaus, so you had another dependent, another child, correct?
Yes, sir.
And your rights were terminated to that child. That's also correct?
Yes, sir.
Did you do that through voluntary agreement with Child Protective Services?
No, sir. They had me doing parenting classes towards the end, and I didn't complete the last two due to work, and they said that's why they terminated my rights.
Okay, well, they can't terminate your rights without a trial, so you didn't show up for court when you were supposed to?
We did have the whole entire trial. It was the parenting classes is what they said that got me because I didn't finish them, so that
And where do you live, Ms. Schaus? What county?
Brown,
And where is that?
Brownwood, Texas.
Oh, Brownwood. So you live way down south.
Yes, sir.
That's a long way from here. And you don't have a vehicle?
No, sir. When me and my ex broke up, he kept everything, so I'm kind of starting back over.
Okay,
My dad, he'll bring me down there until I can get
okay,
being situation figured out though.
okay. 'Cause I mean, that's what you're gonna have to do, right? I mean, Mr. Dan, the child Delilah is currently living in Orange County, is that correct?
We currently live in Jefferson County, but we're
Okay.
about to we're looking for another house back in Orange County because
Okay.
we'd rather be over there.
All right. Have you always lived in this area, Mr. Dana?
Yes, sir. I
All right.
moved to Orange County in '09 and stayed there pretty much
Okay.
my whole life.
And Delilah has been back in at least this area ever since you took possession from Child Protective Services?
Yes, sir.
And how long ago was that again, Mr. Dana?
I believe it was 2017.
Okay, so you said it was 4 years, but it's actually been 7 years.
Or no,
No.
no, no, no. 2017 was our court stuff when all the CPS stuff got involved with Delilah and me and Heaven. So it's been about 2020,
Okay, so it's
somewhere around there.
somewhere between 3 and 4 years Delilah's been back in my area.
Yes.
All right. And in that 4 year span, Mr. Dana, you said that Ms. Schaus has only seen the child one time that you know of,
Yes, sir.
and that was last year.
Yes, sir.
And did the child go to Miss Schaus's parents' home somewhere and they exercised visitation that way, or what happened?
They came to my house under my supervision because I
Okay,
didn't want anything to happen or anything to go wrong.
okay. All right. But that's been the only time she's had any contact with Delilah since Child Protective Services put Delilah in your house?
No, she does video
Okay,
call Delilah every now and then.
okay,
So whenever she gets a chance, like I let her talk to her daughter,
sure.
whenever.
You understand, Mr. Dana, that I have to get visitation started again.
Yeah.
Okay. Oh my God, this child was born on New Year's Eve.
Yeah, she was born at 12:13 in the morning.
I'm sorry, Miss Shouse, I can't hear you when you're crying.
So sorry. She
Did
was
you
born
say-
at 12:13 in the morning on New Year's Day.
Okay, well, that's not what this says. This says she was born on 12/31, so that would have been New Year's Eve. But either way,
She was born on 12/31 at 12:13 a.m.
okay,
I'm sorry, that part cracks me up because it's such a funny number.
yeah. But she's also 8 years old, almost 9.
Yes.
I'm not talking about a baby here. I'm talking about a child that can talk and tell stuff. Right, Mr. Dana?
Yeah.
Right.
I mean, I don't think there was anything other than when I got when I got Delilah, because she was there when the stuff happened with that guy. And
It's okay,
then
Mr. Dana. I can't go back 4 years and
yeah,
make things right.
yeah.
I
Well,
mean,
okay, yeah, you asked.
I'm gonna give a phased-in visitation schedule, Mr. Dana, if you can't figure out that the child's gonna be safe in the next year and a half, then you're probably gonna have to hire an attorney and try to fix the visitation, okay?
Okay, I know she's safe with me, so.
Well, I understand that, Mr. Dana, but you're not the only parent.
Oh yeah, I know. That's why I want her mom to be involved because I want my kids to have what I didn't have.
Right.
So
Well, I'm gonna give Miss Schaus the opportunity to be a parent. Now, whether or not she's able to exercise, it's another story, but I am gonna give her the rights.
yeah.
All right. Ms. Schaus, is there anything else that you think I need to know about this case before I make a ruling?
No, sir.
All right, the court's gonna find the court has jurisdiction. The court's gonna find that there has certainly been a material substantial change of circumstance. Delilah is no longer living in the home of the mother. Delilah is living in the home of the father. And therefore custody has to be changed. Due to the findings in this course, I'm going to find that it is not in Delilah's best interest to name the parties as joint managing conservators. Mr. Dana will be named as the sole managing conservator. Ms. Schaus will be named as the possessory conservator. There are facts that have been agreed to in this case that require that I name the parties as sole and possessory. I'm going to order Mr. Dana to maintain or at least get some health insurance on. Oh, wait, I think the mother says she has it through her employer. I'm going to order the mother to carry the health insurance through her employer. I gave her credit for $125 for the health insurance and $15 for the dental. I'm going to set child support based on the information that she gave at $450 a month, $450 a month, Ms. Penniston, beginning
Yes, sir.
May 1st of 2024. 1 second, I need to make a note. I'm going to order, the visitation is going to be a phased-in visitation schedule. There's going to be 6 visits at each phase, Mr. Penniston. That'll be 6 visits supervised by the father or someone that the father elects. That'll be followed by 6 unsupervised visits for a half a day. That'll be followed by 6 unsupervised visits for the day. That'll be followed by 6 one-night overnight visits starting at Saturday at 6 and ending at Sunday at 6. When that last set of phased-in visitation schedule is completed, then Ms. Schaus may have standard possession. If Ms. Schaus does all of the visitations the way I've defined them, then it will take her approximately 3 months to do each phase, which would be 12 months for Mr. Dana to be able to watch and maintain and make sure that Delilah is going to be safe when the child that goes off unfettered with Miss Dana, with Miss Schaus, I'm sorry. And that way it'll give Mr. Dana an opportunity to hire an attorney and change my visitation schedule if he thinks that's in Delilah's best interest. But if the visitations are going well and Miss Schaus is doing what I've asked her to do, then she will be able to exponentially increase her visitation over the next 12 months and be back to Delilah's life full time. Court costs in this case are due by Miss Shouse, but I'll give her till October 31st of 2024 to pay the court cost. I will make a finding that Mr. Dan is behind in the medical support. And find that as of April the 16th of 2024, you owe $613.67. That'll be paid back at a rate of $20 a month, beginning May the 1st of 2024. Does that take care of all the issues in this case before me today, Ms. Pinister?
It does, Your Honor. Oh, well, and was a request for non-disclosure.
No, that's denied. You don't have any evidence of anything in 2 years.
Okay,
I think that's still the law, isn't it, Ms. Pinister?
that is, Your Honor.
Okay.
Okay.
So the non-disclosure has to be denied. Mr. Dana, I'm required by law to put your address in my court order. It's an order involving a child. And so all parents are required to put their addresses in my court order unless there is a history of family violence or domestic abuse in the last 24 months, okay?
Okay.
And you said that there hadn't been any issues in the last 24 months. You've had very little contact with Ms. Schaus during that period of time, correct?
Yes.
All right, so I'm required, by law, I'm required to put your address in my court order, okay?
Okay.
All right. Now, Mr. Dennis, I have given you the right to elect someone else to supervise the visits for you if you wish to do so. So if you feel comfortable with someone that's a member of Ms. Schaus's family that's local to you, extra, doing the supervising, feel free to do that. If not, then you supervise them yourself, okay?
Okay.
All right. Mr. Danny, do you have any questions about my ruling today?
No, sir.
All right. Ms. Schaus, do you have any questions about my ruling today?
No, sir.
All right, y'all, what's gonna happen now is Ms. Pinister's office is gonna prepare a court order for me. If it matches what I said here today, I'm gonna sign it and get it back to them. Then they're gonna make a copy of it and send it to each of you, okay?
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir.
All right, I wish you both the best of luck.